What if money didn't exist? Imagine a world without cash, coins, or credit cards. How would we buy food? How would we get paid for work? It seems impossible, right? But for most of human history, money didn't exist. Let's journey back in time. Let's explore a world without money. It's a world both familiar and strange. It's a world that challenges our assumptions about how society works. For thousands of years, humans lived without money. They lived in small, close-knit communities. They relied on each other for survival. They shared resources. They traded goods and services directly. This system, known as barter, was the primary mode of exchange. It was based on trust, reciprocity, and a shared sense of community. These societies weren't driven by profit. They were driven by cooperation and survival. Imagine you're a farmer in a moneyless society. You have a surplus of wheat. You need tools from the blacksmith. You directly trade your wheat for the tools. This is barter in action. Barter works well in small communities with limited goods and services. It fosters direct relationships and mutual dependence. It's a simple system for a simpler time. But as societies grew larger and more complex, barter became inefficient. What if the blacksmith didn't need wheat? What if you needed something from someone who didn't need your goods? This is where barter breaks down. Enter money. Money acts as a common medium of exchange. It solves the problem of coinciding desires. It simplifies trade. It allows for greater specialization and economic complexity. Rethinking work and motivation. In a moneyless world, how would we work? This question challenges the very foundation of our current economic system, where wages are the primary motivator for most people. Imagine a world where money doesn't dictate our daily activities. Instead, our actions are driven by different incentives, ones that are more aligned with our human nature and communal spirit. Without wages, what would motivate us? The answer isn't straightforward, but it invites us to explore deeper aspects of human motivation. We would need to look beyond the superficial rewards of money and consider what truly drives us. Is it the sense of accomplishment, the joy of helping others, or the fulfillment of being part of something larger than ourselves? The answer lies in a fundamental shift in perspective. We would need to redefine what work means to us. Work wouldn't just be a means to an end, but an integral part of our lives that brings meaning and purpose. It would be about engaging in activities that we are passionate about and that contribute to the well-being of our community. Work wouldn't be solely about earning a living. It would be about creating value in ways that are not necessarily tied to financial gain. Imagine a society where people are motivated by the desire to improve their surroundings, to innovate, and to collaborate with others for the common good. It would be about contributing to the community. People would find motivation in the direct impact of their efforts, seeing the tangible benefits of their work in the smiles of their neighbors and the flourishing of their environment. People might work in exchange for food, shelter, or other necessities. This barter system would foster a sense of interdependence and mutual support, where everyone's contributions are valued and essential for the community's survival and prosperity. They might work out of a sense of duty or belonging. The intrinsic rewards of feeling needed and appreciated would replace the extrinsic rewards of monetary compensation. This shift could lead to a more cohesive and supportive society. Motivation would stem from intrinsic rewards, the satisfaction of contributing to the common good, the joy of seeing a project come to fruition, the pride in knowing that one's efforts have made a difference, and the deep connections formed through collaborative work would become the new currency of motivation. In this reimagined world, work would be a source of joy, fulfillment, and community. Sharing is caring cooperation in a moneyless society. Without money, cooperation becomes even more critical. In a society where currency no longer dictates the flow of resources, the very fabric of daily life would be woven from the threads of mutual aid and collective effort. Imagine a world where the value of a person is not measured by their wealth, but by their willingness to contribute to the common good. Sharing resources, skills, and knowledge would be essential for survival and well-being. In such a society, farmers might lend their tools to neighbors and in return, receive help during harvest time. People would gather to teach each other new skills, from carpentry to cooking, ensuring that everyone has the knowledge they need to thrive. Communities would need to work together to ensure everyone's needs are met. This could mean organizing community farms where everyone pitches in, or neighborhood cleanup activities that keep the environment healthy and beautiful. Food distribution would become a communal effort, with everyone contributing what they can, and taking only what they need. This emphasis on cooperation could foster a stronger sense of community and social responsibility. Local festivals and team sports would not just be for entertainment, but also for building bonds and understanding among community members. Outdoor meetings would become a regular occurrence where people discuss and decide on matters that affect everyone. It could lead to a more equitable and just society. When people work together and share what they have, the disparities that often divide us could begin to fade. Celebrations would be more inclusive, and the act of helping one another would become second nature. But it would also require a high level of trust and mutual understanding. Building such a society would not be without its challenges. People would need to learn to trust one another deeply and to communicate openly. Misunderstandings would need to be resolved through dialogue and empathy. In the end, the effort to create a moneyless society based on cooperation could lead to a world where everyone feels valued and connected. Resource allocation without money. One of the biggest challenges in a moneyless world would be resource allocation. Without a price mechanism, how would we decide who gets what? How would we prevent hoarding and inequality? This is where things get complex. We might need to rely on democratic decision-making, community councils, or other forms of collective governance. We would need to find new ways to value and distribute resources fairly. Back to the future, money in the modern world. While a completely moneyless world seems unlikely today, there are lessons we can learn from the past. In ancient times, before the invention of money, people relied on barter systems and mutual aid to meet their needs. Goods and services were exchanged directly, and communities thrived on the principles of reciprocity and trust. These early economic systems were built on relationships and the understanding that everyone had something valuable to contribute. The principles of cooperation, sharing, and community that characterized moneyless societies can still inspire us. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, we often forget the importance of these values. Yet they remain crucial for building resilient and supportive communities. By fostering a spirit of collaboration and mutual support, we can create environments where everyone feels valued and included. We can explore alternative economic models such as gift economies, time banks, and collaborative consumption. Gift economies operate on the principle of giving without expecting anything in return, creating a cycle of generosity and gratitude. Time banks allow people to trade services based on time rather than money, promoting equality and mutual respect. Collaborative consumption encourages sharing resources, reducing waste, and fostering a sense of community. We can challenge the assumption that money is the only measure of value. By recognizing the worth of non-monetary contributions, such as volunteer work, caregiving, and creative endeavors, we can build a more inclusive and equitable society. These contributions often go unnoticed in traditional economic systems, yet they are essential for the well-being and cohesion of our communities. We can strive for a world where cooperation and well-being take precedence over profit. By prioritizing human connections and the common good, we can create a more sustainable and compassionate future. This vision may seem idealistic, but small steps can lead to significant change. By embracing the lessons of the past and integrating them into our modern lives, we can work towards a society that values people over profit and community over competition. The verdict: utopia or dystopia? So, what's the verdict? Is a moneyless world a utopia or a dystopia? The answer is not simple. It depends on how we navigate the challenges and opportunities it presents. It requires rethinking our values, our relationship to work, and our responsibilities to each other. It demands a fundamental shift in our understanding of what it means to be human in a world without money.